Since our founding in 1919, the American Legion has dedicated itself to caring for our comrades in uniform and their families, especially those who return from war injured and in need of a helping hand. The quality of today's combat medicine and medical evacuation procedures mean that thousands of men and women who would have perished in previous wars are now being returned home, despite severe injuries suffered on the battlefield. When they do return, however, they come home changed. They have different needs and challenges facing them and their families. When they return to their hometowns, they may need a helping hand to adjust to their new lifestyle or special needs. That is the mission the American Legion took on from day one. It is a mission we vow to continue. It is a mission at which we must not fail. On one hand, caring for our wounded warriors is nothing new to the American Legion. We have always been dedicated to this vital task. But the Heroes to Hometowns project has brought a new focus and some exciting new elements to the mix. For one thing, the Heroes to Hometowns program is not solely an American Legion effort. It is a partnership between the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the American Legion, in addition to many other partners. We work very closely with the Department of Defense Wounded Warrior Resource Center and the Department of Veterans Affairs to identify returning service members and to coordinate procedures and care when possible. The American Legion departments and posts throughout the country serve as the lead organization in each community, each hometown, to coordinate the needs of these returning service members. And those needs can vary widely. Sometimes it will involve a full-scale community effort. Other times, it will be a simple act of kindness.
There are so many ways that the American Legion can help a veteran, and it can be the large things. It can be, constructing the ramp to the house, whatever might need to be done for a severely injured veteran. It can be the things that we are doing now with going out and soliciting the lodging for somebody who needs that lodging overnight to come here for an appointment. It can be, putting gas in their car to get here or giving them some food.
I think it's great when organizations help and do things like build, a new home or, give really extravagant, gifts or modifications for people. That's wonderful. And that's more, I guess media friendly and in the public eye. What I've really respected about this program is that, these might seem like minor needs, but they're huge to our program. They're huge to our veterans. It takes a person who would otherwise say, I can't make it to your facility to get this evaluation, to get some treatment, because I can't afford it. I can't travel up there. I don't have a place to stay. I can't drive 4 hours in the morning, spend 7 hours in appointments, and drive 4 hours home that night. I just can't do that. It allows that person access to care.
One of the key elements to success for the Heroes to Hometowns project is planning ahead and being prepared. Each post should coordinate with their departments, districts, and other posts in their area to create a hero transition team in their community. And the best time to do that is now. Don't wait until you need it.
You don't want to have someone who is wounded or suffering have to wait for you to put a program together. So it's kind of like insurance. When you buy it, you're actually hoping you don't have to use it.
What we're doing here in St. Louis and in the surrounding area is reaching out. We're going out to find those veterans that are in need, as opposed to sitting back and waiting for them to come to us. I think that traditionally we probably have waited for the veteran. And in this case, once the Heroes to Hometowns program was set up nationally and we got that first call, it allowed us then to make that contact with the VA and start reaching out to them.
The Legion's a really powerful family, but we are also indeed in a community, and we need to be a part of that. So as you go through this process of developing and being prepared, you make contacts that you normally wouldn't make with the government, with the local families, and newspaper and media.
Each community's hero transition team will be different, depending on your community makeup. But all of the following institutions or individuals can make a significant contribution to your efforts through their involvement. Representatives from any military units or installation should be involved, as well as your civic leaders, such as the mayor, city or town council members, and other city, county, or state government officials that you can bring to the team. Also include business owners or managers in your area, especially those who might have materials or products you'll need to help returning service members. Construction materials, furniture, appliances, and plumbing and electrical fixtures may be needed to remodel a home, for instance. And lodging, transportation, and meals may be needed to help a family traveling for treatment at a local medical facility. But essentially, any business that might be able to contribute or call on their employees for monetary or volunteer assistance should be asked to join your Hero Transition Team. A visit to your local Chamber of Commerce can provide you with some great connections. Your local media can be a critical resource in making your Heroes to Hometowns program successful. Develop and foster a partnership with the media. Keep them informed throughout the process, and they'll help keep your community informed. Another great resource in your community is the other veteran service organizations and fraternal groups. If you have building trades organizations and unions in your community, bring them on board with a commitment to help in construction or repair projects. The clergy and various church and social groups can also be a great source of support. And of course, a major partner will be your nearest military hospital or treatment facility and your nearest VA medical center or clinic. Your post or district service officer should play a prominent role on the team to coordinate questions and issues of care and entitlements.
We went down to Jefferson Barracks Medical Center and we talked to the public relations person, and we talked to the caseworkers, and we talked to the doctors, and we talked to the nurses that was involved and had a meeting with them and set up a procedure, because they're the first ones to know if someone's coming in to get treatment, get evaluation, or anything like that.
Assuming now that your Hero Transition Team is in place and ready to be mobilized, how do you find out about a returning service member and their needs? One way is to be notified by National Headquarters or the Department of Defense through your department adjutant. But privacy and pride sometimes hamper that avenue of notification. DoD can't discuss an injured service member's case without permission, and often the service member doesn't want to be a burden and therefore won't ask for help. Another way is to use all of the resources in your community, your team. When members of your community learn of a returning severely injured service member, make sure they know to contact you so that you can determine whether to mobilize the team for assistance.
Whether it's a VA medical center like we have here in St. Louis or just a VA clinic, those folks stand ready to assist any veteran and to help them do whatever needs to be done. So an American Legion post has to reach out right away to their VA facility. And whether that's working through their service officers or going direct into the clinic or whatever, they can start working. And I think that outside of the metropolitan area, folks know who's coming home. They know that somebody's coming back into their town because they're in a small community. And it's important that they work outside of just their little town or their post, that they reach out and tap into the resources that other posts have, as well as the community itself.
One of the first things the team needs to understand is what are the benefits that the veteran is entitled to, because I think we have to start with that basis first of all. We need to find out what are all the resources that are available for assistance, and we have to make sure that the people are being fully engaged with everything that they're entitled to.
When it comes to specific needs and assistance for returning severely injured service members, every case will be different and will require the skills and knowledge of different members of the team. Your goal should always be to help the returning service member and their families in any way you can to help the healing process, so they can resume their place in their community. We owe our returning heroes nothing less. We have gladly accepted this mission, and we must not fail.
As far as the guys and gals that helped from the post, and it was multiple posts that came to my aid, I just can't thank these guys enough. They're just, my hat's off to them. I just don't know what I'd do without them.
You really feel good when you know you touch someone's life. And that's what Heroes to Hometowns does.
The American Legion participating in this type of of program, I think, is just, shows how much the American Legion cares about the veterans.
And it needs to be addressed and needs to be in place ahead of time, not 5-10 years from now try to go back and fix things. We want to help now.
One of the things that we don't want to do is have a short-term fix. We don't want to have something temporary. We need to try to create something that's going to be lasting and something that's going to evolve.
There's really no way, as a spouse, for us to tell you how much it means that you put the time in. And I know a lot of you guys are old vets that did the other stint with Nam and Korea and everything. And thanks for not letting my husband and all these other guys go through what you went through. It means a lot. And they appreciate it, even though they'll never tell you. Their weepy, stupid wives have to get on here and tell you. But they do appreciate it, and we know who's taking care of our soldiers. We know it's not the civilians and it's not the politicians. It's the prayer service that know what it feels like to be left out there hanging and have no one care. And we appreciate you all, and we're sorry you went through what you went through, but thanks for changing things and making it possible for organizations like American Legion to do Heroes to Hometowns and really help troops out.
If you have any questions or need materials or support, contact your department adjutant or your American Legion National Headquarters.